Hi everyone, it's Vanka. It's 4 p.m. and I am at my cabin, and look at this weather. It's so cold. It's a lot of fog. Can't hardly see any mountains. It's not raining, but we have had a lot of rain, and my back hurts quite a bit. Doesn't like this weather with all the fog, and it's just horrible. But I have been preparing to do some eco dyeing, because this weather means that I can't do a lot of the things that I should do outside, like painting and such. And I have preparing papers and some fabrics to do some eco dyeing, because I have to do something. And I just thought that even though I'm very tired and most of all just want to lay down, I thought I would just go for a walk and find some different leaves and such. See the blueberries, they are ready, but maybe they should have a few more days because they are not very sweet yet. But you know, I will just collect. I have my vintage plastic bag here from the 80s, some gloves, and yeah, I will just go a walk. Maybe I haven't heard horses this time, but there were horses just around here, not far away. There's something that I can pick and use, and I need to pick some. You see, some blueberries are still not ripe and some are just about. And here's the road down to the main road, and here's a little path that I can walk here and see if we find something interesting. It's pretty much the same, not much flowers, but bushes and leaves and plants that grows around my cabin. But you know, these bushes here, they smell so good. Not sure what the English name is, but it smells really good when you use them in eco dyeing here. And papers, they also smell very good. So let's see if we can see. I think they have removed the horses now. There is a fence over there, and I can't see any, so I think they are moved somewhere else. Not much people to see around here now. Not in the other cabins, haven't seen any. So it's just greenery, not any pretty flowers. But I brought from home a bouquet, I will show you later, of flowers that, well, today is Friday, and no, it's Thursday. And Saturday I had some friends over for dinner, and my friend, she has picked a huge bouquet of flowers from just you know, wild flowers, really pretty. So I just grabbed it with me to use here for eco dyeing. And I love these small I don't know what they are called, but I remember when I was a kid, we called them coffee flowers. I don't know why. So here is the entrance to that fenced thing where the horses were. Look at this mud. Oh my gosh, I can't remember having this bad summer for as long as I can remember. And I hear many of you have too much heat, and I would like to borrow it a little bit, not all of it, but something in between would be nice. So let's see, trees, and it's not much actually, but I will just have to start picking some. I don't think I will come over some extraordinary things further up here, but at least I went for a walk instead of laying down. But my back does not like this, and I'm not sure how, if I will be able to do the rest of the eco-dyeing this evening either, but I hope so. And over there, I will zoom in, there is a cafeteria and like camping. They have some small cabins they rent out. So there's a cafeteria and the fog. Okay, this is boring. Not much to say or look at, it's just around, but it's peaceful. I like it. Don't need a lot of people around me. I get really tired if I have too much noise and people around me. And that's a sort of a feeding tray for the horses. So they were here when I was here last time, and they ate from that. I guess I will just stop now and come back to you when I am back at the cabin and have filled my little basket. It's not so little, it's quite big, with some greeneries, and we will take it from there. Now I am back at the cabin, and here I have the papers and fabrics I have prepared, and they have been soaked in water for a couple of hours, and I'm not even sure. I mixed this, I found this in I think it's called a dresser, very old one, and you know, back in the old days they put something inside that has a very strong smell. It's not a bad smell, it's to keep the little insects or you know, those things that eats wood in it. But when it has that strong smell, you can't really keep any clothing and such in there. I will add some pictures so you can see what kind of old dresser it is. It's painted with rosemaling, and actually it's from a very old hotel, and I just keep things like this inside the drawers. But I found this, it says Yoko Air odor eater, and I looked because it has this powder inside that bag, and I looked behind to see what's inside, and it says in English the base material is sodium bicarbonate, but in Norwegian and other languages it says that bicarbonate and iron something sulfate and alum, yes. And that's why I thought, alum, that's often used when dyeing, so I thought I would try that. So I used maybe half of this bag and just did sort of this with the powder and hot water and layered all sorts of fabrics and papers, book papers, scrapbook papers and such. And I'm sorry, I was sure I had brought my tripod with me, but I can't find it. So it's not so easy to do the filming. I need to use both my hands, but here are different sorts of greeneries. And this thing here, that's from a thistle. I need to wear gloves. I've never tried that before, so that will be exciting. And this is the beautiful bouquet of wild flowers that my friend brought to me, and it's starting to wither. Foxgloves, they are very toxic. And I also took some of these from my house plants. I have tried these before and I don't give anything, but I will try again. And I have my little cup here with rusted pieces. So what I will do, I have to wear gloves, so I will just sort of roll this over and put it in this pan, and then lay it back one by one and layer all these things in between. And I think I will just have to do a slideshow of pictures when I forgot my tripod. I don't know how else to do it, so you can see step by step sort of, and then I will come back later when it's done and talk you through everything. So I think I'm almost halfway through now, and it's I don't think I can have everything in here. I think it's going to be too bulky. I will have to see, but we can't have too much pressure because when you add bulk and these rusty items, the papers, now they are wet, they tear very easily. So I have gotten a few tears already, but now it's so cold so I just want to hurry up and throw something down here to finish this, and then I will come back when I'm inside the kitchen. So here I am. This is jam packed. Maybe too much. I've never done this much before, so I've used almost everything. Just a few of those I picked left. I still have quite a lot of that flower bouquet, but the thing is, I have prepared one more batch only with papers cut to size and some fabrics that are not dipped in this solution. They are dry, and my plan was to do different variation to see if this thing here worked. And I'm not sure if I am going to do one more batch because now it's 6 p.m. and the entire day has gone with making things for this batch, finding all the supplies and all that stuff. It takes time. So now, usually my oven here, usually I have them inside there and some heavy rocks and such on top. My back can't do that now. So I think I will just use these two plates and fill it with water. Here I have a lot of rusted items throughout the sides here, and this is cardboard, something I found in a box with these cool holes in it. And I don't know, I have this copper pan that I have used before. Maybe I can put on top, maybe I can put this on top, but I wish I had some more handy, real heavy items that covered all of this, but I don't. But I will do my best, and well, I will keep it boiling on there for about an hour and so, and we will see how this turns out in the end. So here we are, the next day. It's 3:30 p.m. You know, when it's so windy, you can't just keep your papers lying here because they will fly everywhere. And I have this painter's carpet thing that has plastic here on the inside. It's a very long piece. I use it to protect the surface when I paint the walls and such, but the papers, they are still wet, so I put them in between here. So it's two double layers of this felted fabrics, and some of them have teared and some haven't. And I will of course do a video when everything is dried. And here you can see, love that. So it's Wednesday, almost a week later, and I am back home, and thought I would share with you the outcome of this eco dye. Now that I have my tripod and it's easier to film. So I have fabrics on the bottom here, and all the random papers I used, book papers, and you will see. I don't think that powder thing I added really made a huge difference. But you can never know, but I have gotten almost same results without them. And these like very grungy, almost looks like burnt edges came from that powder, because when I added it to the hot water, it sort of oozed and got dirty here. But let us take a look here. So some of the results I'm very happy with, and some so not so much, but that's how it almost always is. Here you can see mirrored its penmanship writing, my dad's handwriting, and it has transferred, so we will see those papers later on here. This is an envelope. I really like using these ferns, and I also got some sort of light pink color. I don't know where that came from, and I added a couple of branches of blueberries too, so that those blue marks are from those. I didn't add any onion skins this time. This is a wallpaper, and it's one of those textured one that you are supposed to paint after gluing it on the wall. And as you see, some of my papers got torn, but I will still use them, either for collage or using my Big Shot and make tags and such from them. And I didn't do one more batch as I talked about, but I still have the papers ready at my cabin, so maybe I will do it another time. I think I want to do some papers with only ferns and more what can I say, not textured flowers and plants, to avoid all the ripping and such. And they also give good impression when you if you use a lot of those textured plants. Then, for one thing, you usually get more tears in the paper, and they don't lay as flat. So here is a very grungy look. Don't know where that came from. Another envelope. There was a rusted key inside, in between. This is that cardboard, and here you see music, mirrored images of music paper that has also been transferred. And other than that, not much. But I think this was almost at the top of my batch. I used some old scrapbook paper, cut them down to A4 size, and they didn't like being boiled very much. Love this. A huge fern, and this one. It's also on the back. I think it's, yes, it's the mirrored image of this. So I like those. And this I forget all the time, because you know, copy paper comes in different weights, and this is I don't know, maybe 200 grams. I don't know, 150, 120, more than ordinary scrapbook paper. And they, for some reason, they tear easier than just normal copy paper, the lightweight one. So I will try to remember that. Is for some reason they don't like being boiled. This is so perfect. I love this. So it's that fern. It's one of my engineering back from school, one of my books that has physics in it. And this one too. This was just a mess. This is normal copy paper, and for some reason it holds so much better. You can see those rusty pieces I added. That's also a big mess. This got a tear here in the middle, and that's from one of the branches from one of the plants. And these papers, they smell so good. They smell like the mountain. Another scrapbook paper. See, this got torn too. these papers are old, and I know I wouldn't have used them anyway. See, they tear. And I love, you know, some of these ferns, they have these brown seeds on the back of their of the plant, and they, I'm not sure if you can see it, but they show up tiny little seeds. And some of them don't have those seeds, so they are from different kinds of ferns, I guess. Look at that. I think this was a clover. So they get quite grungy, but I haven't added anything else than what I showed you in the movie. And this is tracing paper, and it's an original vintage architectural sketch, I guess you can call it, and it didn't like being boiled either. I haven't ironed these papers, I have just put some heavy objects on top, but I think I will iron them. But you can see it says existing parking lot. So this was hand drawn. Another scrapbook paper. But I do love the pink, sort of cloudy look here as well. And this is also one of the heavier copy paper. And see, it tore here, but it looks like the paper are layered because there are sort of like air in between here. It's like a bubble, and I'm not sure how they do these papers because it's obvious more than one layer. And when it cooks, I think it sort of separates them somehow. There's my... I have a lot of these because my dad had he had his own company, and he had a lot of these books. And this says August 1986. So I love those papers with his handwriting. And here we have the fabrics. I think this was from an old pillow sham or something. Most of these are from the thrift store. So I have just tore them. This was from one of my beloved, much used shirts. It got too little. There you can see the key. I think this is from one of the back pieces. So it got some cool prints too, and this one too, one of my shirts. And you know, these can be used as snippets and such. This, I think, was from an old shirt as well. And these, I don't know, these pink lines, I think it must be from this paper, because I don't have anything else with red in here. So that's interesting. And here you can see that August 1986, this has been pre-dyed with avocado. That's why it has a completely different color. And this took the print really well. It was from a from the 70s. Some of those tablecloths. Can you hear? I don't know what material this is, but you get almost like a more plastic feeling than fabric. I don't know, but that took it well. And this was just a little piece here, and this piece have some, not too much. This was the velvet. When you take these out of the dye, they look so yummy because they are dark and lots of spots and such. But I always clean them, and then they end up like, oh, so disappointed because all the color washes off. This also was from an old pillow sham. My experience with fabric is that the older and more washed the fabric is, the better it takes prints. This, I'm not sure what kind of material this was. Just added it in like an experiment, and this was from an old bed sheet, and you can see it also has the fern here, the back, and that's everything. So I got this done. Not that I need any more eco-dye papers. I have a bunch, but I have to start using some of it. But like I said, I really like those ferns, and I think maybe I will do another batch. If I do without that powder and in the exact same way, I will come back and share the end result with you. So thank you so much for watching. If you give this a try, let me know. And I hope you are all doing well. And I hope to be back soon again. Bye bye.